There you go.
We're good.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Town of Pownell Special Select Board meeting on January 17th, 2023 at 6:31 PM. Call the meeting to order. Board member roll call.
Angie Rowling.
Jamie Percy.
Bob Jarvis.
Brian Harris.
Mike Gardner. Approval of agenda. Public comment. Budget discussion and approval. Town of Pownell 2023 warning and ballot article discussion and approval. Town report continued discussion and approvals. Public comment and adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Angie?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. I'd like to open up for public comment right now if there's anybody out there, Hannah.
I don't see anybody's hands up.
Then we'll move on to budget discussion and approval. Everybody get a chance to read it over and
So there was just the one change, with the changes to the transfer station fees, it brought the fee line and the revenue for the transfer station up around $16,000. So that changed the budget slightly.
yeah, that's our goal is to try to get that, the balance, it would probably never pay for itself, I guess, but to get that balance a little more in line, was our goal. And I think we accomplished that at the last meeting with Tom and I want to thank Tom for his hard work on that too and all the time and input that he had. Any other discussion on the budget? Road budget, general fund, either one?
No, I think they did an outstanding job.
Yeah, I think this is probably, in my 3 years working on budgets, this was probably, definitely the best that I've experienced sitting here. It's much easier to understand as far as I'm concerned. Not that I had a lot of trouble before, but it's just much easier. And I think everyone who worked on the budget, our department heads are on board with keeping costs down. They're working really hard. They're still providing a really good service. I was at I happened to be down at the wastewater treatment facility today with some people looking at some different things. And, there was a gentleman from upstate. I don't know exactly where, but he's up around Burlington area somewhere. And he's like, wow. He said, this is really a nice looking wastewater treatment facility. And the other gentleman's from Bennington. And they both commented on it. So, yeah, we're doing the right things. So, I'll entertain a motion to approve the fiscal year 24 budget.
I'll second. I'll make the motion that we approve.
I'll second.
Any more budget discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob, aye.
Brian, aye.
Mike? Aye. Brings us to the 2023 warning and ballot articles discussion and approval.
So I combined all three to make sure that we give our constable back law enforcement duties if the voters so choose. We, hopefully, if they so choose, will be removing the elected position of constable and making an appointed position. And then the third one was to give you guys the authority to appoint that position.
So you reworded it for all.
Slightly, yes,
So 4, 5, and 6, correct?
yes.
And you heard back from the VLCT and this is all correct?
Yes.
Just want to make sure that's clear, that people realize that she
Yep.
did reach out to VLCT.
Yes, there was confusion on the charter, and
Right.
so we aren't a charter town. We do have a charter where we are initially established from New Hampshire, but it's not the same thing, so that's where the confusion came up.
Okay.
I think it's hard. I think we owe the taxpayers due diligence on this as a board to explain why this is what we're proposing. Not, and I don't really know how to do that, but I think we really need to work on that as a board. This is as far as this board's concerned, it's a really important thing, for that we're kind of pushing for. And I think we owe it to the taxpayers and the residents of town, our voters, of why we think it's an important thing. I don't think we've ever done that in the past, really, we've done some things.
Not one reason.
So I think where I'm going with that, Jamie, is maybe we set up a couple of, I don't know if we can do it. I have to make sure we can. Maybe a couple of public hearing meetings that
Informational.
just on why we think this is important, a question and answer. Maybe we set up 2 of them, and if we only get 5 people, we get 5 people. But I want to give the residents and taxpayers of the town a chance before town meeting and voting to ask questions why we think this is important, rather than just kind of stuffing it down their throat and they have to make a decision and maybe an uneducated decision because we failed to educate them on what the so just my thoughts.
I think it's gonna be great for the town because it gives the town the option. We can still continue with the sheriff. There's nothing saying that we can't continue with the sheriff if we so choose, but it gives the town an option that we can try to hire somebody as opposed to having to wait for the next year for an election, or, you're chancing somebody being elected that shouldn't be in that position.
Yeah, no, I think we can justify.
Right.
I know we can justify why we're trying to do it, and we wouldn't be trying to do it.
Yep.
I just want to give the taxpayers and residents and voters a chance.
Yeah, to get the information out.
To get that information out. So
Yeah,
we can schedule a couple of different meetings on that before March.
One of the other things is then you have direct competition too. So you're not at will with a direct contract.
Yeah.
It gives the town options.
Yes, the options, important.
And I think that's something, go ahead, Bob, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I think as a board, then we need to come up with that statement. But then we can also, as individual members, if we're clear that we're not representing the board, just give our own opinions about constable as well. About
for sure.
law enforcement and everything. So we can all take it upon ourselves and say, this is why I think it's a good idea. This is why this is what I think the pros and cons are. But any statement that is of the board, we need to get together and put a statement together that everybody agrees on.
Exactly. No, exactly. And that's, we need to do that. And I think that's what we do. Maybe we have a work session on that, Bob. With just the board, and we come up with a prepared statement and then open up a public meeting. I don't want to call it a public hearing. I don't know if it's really a hearing, but a question and answer
Informational meetings.
informational
I
meeting.
think it's important to remember that for future years also.
Oh, me too.
With any ballot articles, to really get the information out and have those meetings
Yeah.
to talk about it, so people aren't in their voting thinking, okay, what am I actually voting for?
If we give them the option, if they don't attend, whether it be physically or Zoom,
Right.
or watch, then that's not our fault. But if we give them the option, we've done our due diligence to give them a chance to be educated about ballot articles that this board here has on this town, on the town warning.
And
That's just
even
mine.
if they don't attend, if it's recorded, they can review it. If it's not
Exactly,
recorded, they can
exactly.
review it.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's right. And I think I just think we set up a couple of nights and, we can do it at 6 o'clock or whatever, like we normally do. And when there's no DRB or plane, it doesn't have to be a Thursday. It can be whatever. Okay.
And with this approval, it's, if there are any changes, say you approve this as it is right now, if there are any changes before Thursday, people still can request money until Thursday. I will have to have an emergency meeting to have you guys reapprove. It might not happen, but just so that everybody knows,
The possibility is
have
there.
until Thursday at 5, so.
I can certainly attend if we need to, I'll be available for sure. So,
Okay.
we only need 3 of us, so it doesn't have to be a full board for that. So,
Anytime after.
They have until Thursday,
Okay.
so,
I
yeah,
think they have until Thursday at 5, right?
they do,
Yes.
so,
Okay, so we'd have to take and do it.
yeah, I was like
You could-
Thursday
Emergency
or
or
Friday,
special
or, yeah.
early.
Yeah, super, like a super fast one, but
Yep,
Yeah.
it may not even be necessary.
I'd be available, and if you needed to do a Saturday just to meet a deadline, I could
Yep, me too.
Me
do
too.
one on Saturday.
I'm available all weekend, so
Perfect.
whatever.
I would hope
And
that.
I know Bob, with his work schedule may not be available, so that's why I was throwing that out there. That-
Okay.
yep.
I'm always
hope-
available on weekends.
There you go. So maybe it's a Saturday afternoon, late afternoon thing before playoff football will be good, so.
Do it during a timeout.
Yeah.
I would have hoped that by now that whoever was gonna change or ask for more money would have,
Julie said that was very positive thinking. She likes my positive thinking, and I'm like, I am.
okay.
Yes.
Good, don't ever change that.
So they entertain the motion to approve the 2023 warning as presented tonight in the ballot articles.
So move.
Second.
Any more discussion on ballot articles? Maybe we kind of sidestep that other than our constable.
They're all the same.
They're all the same, yeah.
Other than the 20,000 to the library for the, director's salary, that was 15 last year. That's the only change.
Okay. All right.
I liked how you put it in red.
That way it stood out.
It stood out, the changes.
That's good. All right, I have a motion on the floor in a second. All those in favor, Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Mike, aye. Number
Can I
7,
make can I make a quick suggestion?
absolutely.
Article 7 and 8, we always get questions as to why the amount raised by taxes plus the amount from undesignated surplus funds doesn't add up to the total. It's not supposed to.
It's not
We
supposed to.
probably have a written explanation for that, because I guarantee somebody at town meeting
We actually-
asked that question.
We actually don't have a written explanation, and I went to Ellen and I'm like, I know this is a simple answer, but I can't wrap my head around why these two numbers don't equal this. And obviously it's because of the other revenue we bring in, fees, and things like that. And when she explained it, I was like, oh, I knew it was something so simple, but you're right, we could get a question about that. And now I know the exact breakdown and how it works, so.
We do a frequently asked question sheet to just hand out at the door.
You were reading my mind. It must be a little thing popped up over my head.
Yep.
I didn't see it. Maybe that is something that we hand out or put on our website, a frequently asked question thing, and it's probably fairly limited.
Because it does seem to be the same questions asked every year.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea, Brian. I had it, you just stole it from me.
I'll let Mike take credit for it.
No, I know. Number 7, town report, continued discussion and approvals.
So I think we only brought that back because I wasn't sure how many to have printed here, bound copies. So I did get some pricing from InkSpot Press. I checked around online. InkSpot was definitely by far the most, reasonable pricing. So they can do 50 for 295, 100 for 419, or 300 for 1,100. And we have the money in the budget.
And that's
Any of
the bound copies.
Bound copies, yeah.
On 8.5 by 11.
Yep,
How much were 50 of them? I'm sorry, I missed that.
295.
How many do you need for in office?
Maybe 10 to 15
Okay,
for everybody though. So there's like one at transfer station.
right, I get
We
that,
should have some for town meeting.
right?
I'd say at least 100.
Yeah, I was thinking at least 100 and 300 as, I mean,
Is there an in-between between 100 and 300 we could do?
probably, he didn't give me pricing for it, but we could go with like,
Because I'm thinking I was thinking 200, because that'll give us plenty to hand out at town meeting and have some on hand.
My question would be if we ordered 100 and then we got more than 100 requests, could we
then order another.
order another 100? That way we're not spending money we don't have to. Because we are spending money to send out all the cards.
Right.
This is true. But the town report is also gonna be available on the website for download, so people
Correct.
can review it digitally and print it out themselves.
Right. Do you think that 100 would be comfortable? Or you don't know?
It's a crapshoot. This is a total crapshoot, and this is a huge gamble, right? Fortunately, we're not going to lose a lot of money on this, being in the gamble here, but because this is the first year that we've
Right.
Yeah, it's.
done this.
And last year when we were voting on it, I was like, how in the heck are we gonna figure out how many to pre-order?
So I guess, did he give you a time frame on how long it would take? So if we took Angie's idea and we said we order 100, and then we find out, man, we need another 200, how soon could they get us those would be
He didn't, but I would say like within the week.
that's what I was thinking. It would be,
That's pretty quick.
I would think it'd be a fairly quick turnaround because he's already set up for it.
Right, exactly.
I think and that's a good question about whether they're set up for it. Do we know that we can do 100 and then 200 after that and still get the 300 pricing? I'm not sure we know that, right?
Right. I don't know if we do know the answer to that, Bob, but
I don't want to, obviously I want to save money, but it seems to me that somewhere between 200 and 300 is the right number. So we might just go with 300. We can always pull back next year if that's too many. But in previous years, we've always had extra town reports in the town office that people can pick up all year long. And we probably want to have a stack available.
Yeah.
Worst comes worst, we can always print out a copy if we run out, if we just need one more.
Right.
You can always just print one out for somebody.
Right.
That's true.
I know exactly where you're coming from, Bob, because if somebody 3 days before town meeting wants a town report and we only printed out 100 and now we find that we need more, have we done a disservice to that voter and taxpayer?
In printing them out, it's not really the same as a bound copy, right?
Right, a bound copy.
It's not,
It is
quite as
a
good.
bound copy.
But, and then I also think about this, and I don't think we mentioned it last time, is some of us have like 20 years of those little books, and you're gonna screw up that shelf on the bookcase.
Yeah, I know. That is why I made you guys approve it. It wasn't just on me.
I think I'm with Bob. I think Bob's leaning towards the 300. To be honest with you, I think I'm leaning towards that because, and I like the idea of ordering 100 now and then, but I really hate to have somebody.
I don't want it to be short either, but I don't want to have a stack full left over, but I guess we can just readjust next
Yeah, I
year.
don't know
I
how
think
many have been
300 is-
requested
is
throughout the
pretty good.
year either. I mean, we really.
What did we normally print?
Oh my God, but every household,
Yeah, used to be.
That would be like 1,100-1,500 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
there was a lot.
so we will be saving.
So let me ask you this. I mean,
Significant
you
amount.
guys have been here for a little while now. How many town reports have you had people come in since you've been in here and ask for during the week?
Don't really request the report, but we use it all the time for information, phone numbers or, yeah.
Yeah, I use mine all the time.
I've never had someone request a report, maybe
One guy
one.
took yours.
Yeah, I did give someone my copy, so like one the whole time I've
So
been,
not a lot, but
but they all went out too.
Right.
So that's the
that's a difference.
difference.
Except for last year, we did post the link.
But they still all went out last year.
They took.
Yeah.
So, and we.
Eventually they all
I have
went.
to tell
They
you,
were,
we-
I was just here late.
True, that's right.
Well, the funny thing is when you're sending a postcard, you have to give 30 days notice. When you're sending the book, you only have to send it 10 days before the meeting. So it's
Crazy.
it's tricky now.
That's
It's-
because that
we
way
have to
they
do
get
it
the
sooner.
card and then they can request the book before
Right, and
the
it gives
10
them
days
enough
are up.
time. Yeah.
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 So what's your pleasure?
I make a motion for 300.
I'll second the motion. Or Bob does.
Any more discussion on that? I think that's the right choice at this time.
Yeah.
I really do.
We can, like you said, we can adjust it next year if we.
Yeah, if we're short, we go more. If we're
If
down.
we're sitting on 200 and come next year, we'll only order 100.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yep. All those in favor, Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
I,
Brian,
Aye.
Mike, aye. Perfect.
Mr. Therian reached out earlier for budget stuff, so. Maybe an article tomorrow.
Nice. I guess we'll go to public comment. We are flying tonight.
Nobody has their hand up.
Nobody has their hand up, man, we're good?
Yep, you're good.
Then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Angie?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Hi,
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Thank you, everyone, for attending.
thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Have a
Thank you,
good night.
Bob.